Hey, Rachel. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. And we're coming at you live from Oregon Weight and Wellness over here. Where are you from, Rachel?
I'm in Albany,
Yeah.
Oregon, at Whole Life Health and Wellbeing.
Yay. And it's such a gorgeous fall day here. Mm,
It really
So,
is.
so
We've got
beautiful.
some beautiful weather.
hmm Yeah, my hearts go out to the people in Florida who are suffering.
hmm hmm
Yeah.
There's a burden that we can carry for that, right?
hmm
I was talking to
hmm
somebody yesterday, and she said there was her heart was so heavy, and I
hmm
just rested in that empathy with her, and then she expressed such gratitude
hmm
for what she does have, and
Yeah.
that some of her problems today felt not so big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not such a big deal. It put some things
Yeah.
into perspective for her.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rachel, we've been talking about this diet versus lifestyle mentality and how dieting is so short sighted and really doesn't take into consideration getting well or my cells getting healthier. It's just really narrowly focused on one thing, which is a number on a scale or the number of calories. It's really not considered about considering quality or pleasure or rhythm um, or metabolism. Whereas lifestyle really takes a more holistic approach to health, which
Mhm.
Rachel, I think you were kind of talking a little bit before we got started, which can spill over, have a ripple effect.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into other people's health, into community, into, local community, into global,
Yeah.
and so, yeah. And so just like we have empathy for, for people who are going through hard things.
Mhm.
I think a corollary with that is that, and that can impact us,
Mhm.
in our
Mhm.
health, in our mind, in our thinking. Um, we can have impact, the other way, when we're getting ourselves healthier. Did that make any sense?
It does. Yeah. What we're really wanting to talk about today is diet versus lifestyle mentality is
Mhm.
this concept of local well-being and then global well-being.
Mhm.
So we're kind of thinking about the ripple effect. So
Yeah.
if you think about a stone thrown in the water and one little ripple, and it just keeps rippling out. And we all know that feeling when something ripples out from our lives. And lifestyle mentality, lifestyle medicine is a construct around focusing on lifestyle change, but it's so much bigger than just kind of narrowly focusing on a couple different things. It really comes with the mindset and the heart attitude of holistic well-being for yourself, and then what that looks like as it ripples out to other people.
Mhm.
And the best way I can describe it is that, if I'm touched today by a sense of better well-being, whether it's a conversation I have with my doctor or my friend or my health coach, or it's some of these lifestyle medicine practices I'm working on, and I feel a renewed sense of well-being. Maybe yesterday I was a 4 and today I'm a 4.5 or a 5. That has changed what I'm putting out in the world. It's
Mhm.
it's positively impacted my mindset, my heart, my ability to love or serve others well. Now suddenly I react differently to my spouse, my kids, my friends, colleagues, and it ripples out. What I put out there in the world online is a
Mhm.
direct reflection of what's in my
Mhm.
of
Right.
my well-being. And
Mhm.
so not only do I want to look at my well-being, but how could I impact the well-being of someone next to me?
Mhm.
How might we impact each other's well-being and kind of start this global ripple effect the other way?
Right.
The
The other way.
change the current of how things are going.
Yeah. Because I think, it's there's there's a lot of, well, right now here in the United States, we're gearing up to an election, and there is a lot of negative stuff out there. It doesn't even have to be an election season,
Mhm.
but there can be a lot of negative, and if we can, we can absorb some of that too if we're not careful. However, if we're proactive the other way, we can actually, have the opposite good
Yeah.
effect or positive effect. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think about, I feel like we maybe as humans, we don't do this really well, but
Mm.
think before we put something out there. So
Mhm.
let's use the example of social media. Perhaps you're feeling fired up about something, or you're wanting to post something that's important to you, and without giving it the thought of how might this impact the reader, right? And maybe you're posting it so that you fire people up, or so that you're being a little controversial. Maybe you're feeling a little spicy, like a spicy taco today. Okay. But what ends up happening, we do this to sort of stand up for our rights. We do this to stand up for our beliefs. We do this to make a statement. And it feels good in the moment, but I'm picturing the ripple effect of
Mhm.
perhaps the opposite of well-being that it has on your fellow local community or the global community. And what
Right.
happens is, think of a wave that hits the shore and it kind of waves back. That kind of energy comes back. So do I
Mhm.
want to be someone who's putting negativity out there? And I do better if the people around me are healthier. My
Mhm.
my mental health and well-being is better when my family is healthier, my community is healthier. If I have a
Yeah.
healthy city, I do better. So it's
Right.
in my best interest to
Mhm.
invest in the well-being of
Mhm.
others, friend or enemy, however you might think of it. Because if they're healthier, if their mental health and well-being is higher,
Mm.
that actually benefits me.
Right. Yeah.
What I put out there is going to splash back in
Yeah.
some shape or form. So
Right.
it's an I don't know. I mean, how do you think about that thought pattern and where that takes you?
Right. 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 Um, yeah. Well, there's some golden rules out there, right?
Yeah.
And it comes with lots of, several different schools of thought that
Mhm.
kind of boils down to one, a main thought of, you are captured by what you chase, or, what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. All of these kind of thoughts are very similar, and kind of that what I put out there is going to kind of splash back to me,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So yeah, thinking about what I'm, so that's where a lifestyle kind of comes in,
Mm.
because, and it's just like thinking about the food that I'm eating before I put it in my mouth, or how it affects, so a diet mentality doesn't really look at quality, or if it's, plastic, or, you know, um, um, the chemicals that went in there
Yeah.
here, and how that affected, where that came from, and how's that affecting the environment, and whereas more of a lifestyle approach, um, you're trying to eat whole real food, and grown in healthy soil.
Yeah.
Then you're thinking about, yeah, your surroundings, your community, where the people that grew it, where it was, what it was grown in, and
Yeah.
so all of a sudden, what you're doing is benefiting. What you're doing for yourself is benefiting
Mhm. Yeah.
your your surroundings, your community.
And these are really, as you're describing that, I'm thinking these are really actionable items that I have control over.
Mm.
Especially in this, election season, I think of how much I have no control over, and how
Mhm.
it can spin me out if I
Yeah.
let it get to me. But the
Right.
truth is, I have no control over what happens. I have
Mhm.
no control what's out there. I can control my actions. I
Mhm.
I can protect myself from taking in some of the harmful media
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
propaganda, and I can guard my heart. But I all I can do is vote. That's all I can literally do. So
Mhm.
then I'm thinking about these proactive ways that I can impact others and have this positive ripple effect by thinking about the lifestyle and where did this food come from and how was it grown? Suddenly now I'm thinking about farmers and pesticides, ooh, and organic and plastics in my containers. And these are things I have power over with what I choose, what I purchase, where I invest my dollars, thinking about recycling and
Mhm.
growing my own garden, maybe, to get even healthier. And and that has a ripple effect that I can feel good about at the end of the
Mhm.
day, that I can feel like I'm in control of something that I have power
Yeah.
over, which are my actions.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think one of the reasons that you're bringing this up, which, which is very timely, is that, as we're coaching and working with people, I mean, people come and tell me, I mean, they are beside themselves,
Yes.
because of this election season, and because of all the rhetoric or whatever. It doesn't even matter who you believe or what you believe.
It doesn't. Yeah.
It's all over the place. And unfortunately sometimes it derails people and their in their journey for to be healthier,
Yeah.
and they find themselves eating things they really don't want
Yeah. And
to eat.
not
So
sleeping and stressing out and,
mhm,
not even going to their exercise class or taking a walk because they're
right,
just consumed by
right,
these thoughts and these patterns.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And so coming back to the mindset of what can I control,
Yeah.
what can I do, how can I breathe, and bring back some parasympathetic nervous system, um, so that I can stay calm and at peace.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I think that starts with that at peace with myself, and then at peace with the person that's in the room with me, or across the table from me, and then and then yeah, just doing the things that I know give my body the ability to even stay functional and grounded, and not get in that stressed out mode all the time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that really harkens back to the wellness ways, the program
Hmm.
that you have at
Hmm.
Oregon Way to Wellness and that I
Hmm.
help coach through with people is what are the fundamentals? What are
Yeah.
my fundamentals? Each person gets to decide their own.
Hmm.
There's the the principles are few, but the methods are many. So there's
Hmm.
some basic principles of health and well-being that are irrefutable, but the way that each person goes about it and figures out what's going to work, but how does it work for me? How will I fit it into my day? And when we have we've written up kind of a guidebook for ourselves, either literally, which I encourage people that I coach,
Yeah,
write
sure.
down what are
Yeah.
your guideposts every
These are
day.
my rules. Yeah.
These are my rules. Yeah. And we don't need rule like a law. Rules are sometimes broken. It's not perfectionism. But what is guiding? What guides my
Mhm.
principles today? What guides
Mhm.
my decision making today?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
when those are in place and actively being pursued, not perfectly, but being pursued consistently, that's what keeps our ability, our stamina up, our
Yeah.
well-being, our stress levels are managed, we're sleeping okay. And then we have the opportunity to reach across the table, like you said, and
Mhm.
offer some well-being to that person.
Mhm.
What if we not only did this for ourselves, but we thought about the person around us and said, how might I leave them more well when they leave me, whether it's on the phone, in person, whatever it is, online, than when
Mhm.
I right? How can I
Right.
leave a ripple of wellness
Right. Yeah.
rather than this splashback of
Right. Snark.
dysfunction and
Yeah.
dishealth?
Snark.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's so good. And it really, yeah. And it's part of that lifestyle.
Mhm.
So, because because when I don't do that, it really threatens to derail my other pillars,
Yeah.
my nutrition pillar, my movement pillar, my sleep pillar. If I'm just kind of constantly thinking, yeah, about all, or I'm watching news right before I go to bed,
Right.
that's not, yeah. How is that serving my well-being?
Yeah, my guess is it's stealing your peace. It's
Mm-hmm.
stealing, it's robbing you of joy
Yeah.
and of a peaceful heart and mind,
Mm-hmm.
and of creativity. When we are feeling at peace is when our mind goes, I wonder what it would be like to go for a walk tomorrow. That's our
Mm-hmm.
creative side, trying to come up with solutions for how to make these guideposts, these principles, these rules that we want to follow a reality. But when
Yeah.
our minds are spun and it's stealing our peace and joy, we close down, right, to a
Mm-hmm.
closed mindset.
Yeah.
We can't even think about that. The brain's
Yeah.
like, we're just trying to survive here, man. It's
Right.
just
Yeah.
starting here, I don't know about walking. I might die on the street, like all of a
Yeah.
sudden things become
Catastrophe.
exactly.
Yeah. Not a catastrophe. Yeah. Catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. And then we don't leave space for planning or thinking about, or, we come to dinner and like, I don't have anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we default to some, I don't know, more processed food or something like that. So, yeah. So, well, speaking of dinner, Rachel,
Yeah.
what's for dinner for you?
For dinner for me. So our small group started back up again. We're
Yeah.
back in the swing of things for fall. And so the dinner tonight is baked potato bar.
Mm.
And so I don't know what everybody else is bringing, but I'm going to bring a nut sauce. I think it's going to be a sunflower seed
Oh,
sauce.
now will
And
that have nutritional yeast in it?
this one does not. This one is, gosh, I've only made it one time before, so now I can't remember, but I believe it has tofu blended in. So it's
Okay.
got protein in it, which is really
Okay.
nice.
Got it.
And then I'm going to do some roasted chickpeas.
Yeah.
And then, well, I can't remember the third thing. I was going to bring, like some roasted veggies. So that here's my tip. Here's my pro coaching tip. Whenever you go to a buffet, a friend's house, a potluck or whatever, and you're not sure, and you're trying to, you want to eat healthfully, right? You want to keep yourself on this health minded, but you're not so sure what will be available. Bring what you can eat. So I know at the very least, I can be satisfied with some roasted veggies, some sauce, and some chickpeas. And that maybe I'll do if these are giant, big old potatoes, I'm going to cut one in half. And I know at least for me, I'll be satisfied and I'll have the nutrition I want. And that's my strategy. I always bring at least something that I know I'll eat if I look around and nothing else looks really good for me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. That's a great strategy. Yeah.
What's for dinner for you?
I was feeling a little soup. And so last night I made some just good old fashioned chicken soup. And instead of a noodle, I put cauliflower rice in there. Yeah, but it's got a lot of vegetables in there, my mirepoix.
Yes.
Yeah. And so somebody mentioned that their husband made them some chicken penicillin soup. And I said, what's Italian penicillin soup or something like that?
What is this? I've heard of it too.
I think it's just chicken noodle soup.
Oh. I think the same person who told you that told me that. Oh. It's a patient of yours. And I'm like, is there penicillin in the like,
do you let the bread get moldy?
Yeah.
And then put it in there? Yeah.
Is this a science experiment and you're like growing? And if so, how is it working for you?
Yeah. No, but chicken soup's good for the soul. So yeah. It's that garlic, it's that onion, it's that carrot, celery, it's that a little olive oil in there. That's really what is
it really is. you can't go wrong with those, right? With the basic, again, the fundamentals of
Yeah.
foods like that. Yeah, we all know. What do you put in it? You put garlic, you put mushroom, you put onion, you put
Yeah.
carrot, right? It's the same things. We all start with that base, and man, it makes such a difference.
So good. Yeah, so good. And then instead of noodles, I'm using my cauliflower rice. So it should
That's
be really
fun.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, so it'll be
So,
more
yeah.
like a chicken and I think of chicken and rice soup.
Mhm.
Was
Yeah.
like kind of like a chicken noodle, but like it
With-
didn't have noodles, it had rice. So this
Right.
is like a chicken and rice kind of a idea.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, any final thoughts there, Rachel, about just kind of staying calm through this kind of storm?
Yeah. I just want to encourage people to think about what your ripple is. What ripple are you sending out?
Mm.
What ripple are you sending in to you and
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
you? What could you intentionally send out into the world and help make our world a better place?
Yeah.
Keep showing up every week because we're going to keep talking about this. We'd love to do at least for the month of November, where we can focus on inspiration, motivation, and encouragement to stay well through the election season. Because
Yeah.
you can't.
And then, yeah,
You can choose
it's so
that.
true. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yes.
And then through the holiday season.
And then we'll launch into the holidays. That's right.
Yes.
And I think that this is a great launch for that because
Mhm.
we can start managing that. We don't enter the holiday season already,
Yeah.
just
frazzled, beat up, exhausted, irritated, frustrated. No, we come in with peace, and rest.
Yeah.
And accepting what we can do, and
releasing
and it's not a power of positive thinking, really. It's not that. It's more than that. It's our physiology. It's our neurobiology. It's it's our spirituality. It's all connected together.
It's all connected. And that piece that you mentioned, that's yours
Mhm.
for the taking. You can choose. We each, all of us, we can choose that piece. We can choose the actions that lead to that, choose our behaviors
Right.
and our intentions. And again, if this sounds new or fresh and interesting to you, it's a practice. It's something to start with the intention of, okay, what if today I sent a positive ripple into the world? And what if I just kept doing that every day? And I sent a positive ripple to myself,
Yeah.
By way of a lifestyle action.
Yeah.
And give us a call if you need some help with that. This is what we do. This is our passion and mission in life. And so your wellness equals our better wellness as well. So
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for this conversation. All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Have a great one. See you next time.
Bye-bye.